Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in today. First, we do understand during these times people are not traveling, but these presentations are meant to educate you for the cruise that might be on your bucket list. We love talking about travel. We are super excited to be here today to address all your burning questions about cruising. So speaking of cruising, if you have any questions of your own today, please feel free to post them in the chat area. But first, let's do some introductions. My name is Cheryl, and I'm the selling supervisor here at the Hamilton store. I've been in the travel industry for 20 years, and I've been with Sell Off Vacation for the past 3 years. With me today, I have the lovely Denise from our Ajax store. Denise, would you mind introducing yourself?
Absolutely. Well, hi, everybody. My name's Denise, and you may recognize me from some of our previous presentations. I am the manager of the Ajax store, as Cheryl said. I have been in the travel industry for about 10 years now, and with Sell Off Vacations for almost 4, or just over 4, actually. Today, we're going to be talking about cruising with Air Canada Vacations, and I'm really excited about this, actually, because cruising is a newfound love of mine. And I can't wait to cruise again.
Wow. So how many cruises have you been on then?
Well, as I said, newly found love. I've actually only been on one cruise, but I do have 2 currently booked for upcoming dates. I took my first cruise last year. It was a 2-week Panama Canal cruise with Disney, and it was right when COVID struck. So needless to say, my first cruising experience wasn't typical, but I can honestly say I had the best time on board, and Disney was amazing. They quickly rose to all the challenges that were thrown at them during COVID. How about you, Cheryl? How many have you been on?
Oh, I've been on about 5 or 6 cruises
Oh, wow.
myself.
That's awesome.
Yeah, mainly with my family, but my first cruise was pre-kids. It was actually for my honeymoon.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, I went on Norwegian Cruise Lines. We wanted to test it out. We didn't want to commit to the full week because I was unsure
Sure.
if I was going to have seasickness. So we
Mhm.
did a shorter cruise. We did a 4-day Western itinerary, which
Perfect.
was amazing. I mean, we got to go to the Cayman Islands and do
Mhm.
um, the encounter with the stingrays at Stingray City, which
Oh,
National
fun.
Geographic rates at top 5 things in its natural habitat to do. So that was a
Mhm.
neat experience. I was so surprised at the stabilization of the ship. I didn't even realize we were sailing until an hour into sailing when I went on top of the deck to do my bon voyage. And so I was pleasantly hooked right there. And we
Oh,
continued to
amazing.
do about another 5 as a family.
Mhm.
And the
Oh,
kids love it. My big elevator pitch is always with cruising being so versatile, you can do so much or you can do nothing. So I'm the type that I get up in the morning. I like to run around the track on the ships, and then I like to get a nice little breakfast going, and then sit by the pool and just take in the ocean airs. My husband's the type to have that cruise news in his back pocket, and he's watching when's the next event. I want to do the ping pong tournament, and busy, busy, busy. Kids love all the activities, the
mhm.
slides, the teen clubs, and just being able to be independent on the ship
Right.
and meet new friends. Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, I think you hit on all the really great positives about cruises there, all the those key selling features. So you've traveled alone with just your husband, you've traveled with your kids, so they're great for all demographics. You've done shorter cruises, you've done longer cruises, so there's a time frame for everybody. Um, you know. uh, There's so many different destinations too. So, if you're wanting to see the world, but maybe not wanting to unpack every day, it's great. You've got a home base and you can still get out there and see everything. And
Yeah.
there's so many different levels of accommodation as well. You can do a very basic cruise, or you can go 5-star luxury and live the life.
Yeah.
There's so many different choices when it comes to cruise style and what you're doing, where you're going, how long you're doing it. It's a really great option for everybody.
Yeah, it certainly is. I wonder we should check in with Shannon to see if we have any questions so far.
Sure.
Hi, ladies.
Hey,
Thanks
Shannon.
Hi.
so much. Definitely some great info there so far. I've cruised a couple times, but not to the extent you have, Cheryl. Sounds like you've had lots of great family vacations for sure. There is a couple questions here to start us off. A couple of them are related to It's like the first one here is there a free COVID vaccine on the cruise ship? The next one is, do you need a COVID vaccine shot to get onto the ship? A few related to COVID, which we certainly understand during these times. I think I'll put that to you, Cheryl.
Yeah, certainly. And yeah, there's lots of rumors around it as well. So we're unsure yet what's going to be implemented. We're just waiting for the Health and Safety Panel, along with the CDC, which is the Center for Disease Control. They're working on these safety protocols and requirements. So we would definitely keep you posted, and there'll be another cruise talk too with updates later on as well.
For sure. Thanks
Yeah.
so much, Cheryl. I know you could answer that. Another one here that came in from Evelyn actually is, will COVID protocols be the norm moving forward? And if so, does the ship require negative tests before boarding? Again, we're going to revert back to Cheryl's response there because we're just not sure yet.
Yeah.
I mean, certainly we will get the information when it comes out, and we'll be happy to share it at that point. But
Absolutely.
yeah. Evelyn also said she loves cruising and she can't wait to go again. That sounds amazing,
Me
Evelyn.
too,
None of us
Evelyn.
can wait to travel
too.
again for sure. Another question here is, we've cruised before. What changes can we expect on the Lido deck food services? And again, I'm not sure if we would know that, but Denise, would you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, definitely. I can tell you from experience, again, it was day 3 into my 14-day cruise where, we saw those changes starting to happen with COVID. So, it went from, the majority of like the buffet areas and those self-serve areas going from self-serve to being served. So that's one of the main things that you're going to see. So it's not going to be so much self-service options anymore, but of course you're still going to have those food options on board and on all those decks. You will be seeing a lot more, again, hand sanitization going on around the deck. Hand washing stations may come into effect as well. But again, at this point, it is still pretty early. We don't have all of the information as to what the cruise lines are implementing, and that would be something that we'd be able to follow up with a little bit further down the road.
We do know there's lots going on in the background there, and then certainly we can't wait to hear what it is as well. So can't wait to share that with you. The last question we have here before we move forward with the presentation is, are 2023 river cruises available yet?
Yes, they are. I can answer
absolutely.
that. That's on my bucket list.
Yeah, me too.
Yes, you can book into, there are great promotions out with the river cruises, and with early booking bonuses attached to them and lots of flexibility, and the itineraries are out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
23, yeah.
Yep. So definitely, you can certainly contact Cheryl or Denise, or give her our toll-free number a call, which will be on the screen at the end of this presentation. And certainly post more questions if you have any. We'll get to them again later, but we'll continue on with the presentation.
Oh,
thanks,
fantastic.
Ladies.
Thanks, Shannon. We've been on a great run with questions in the last couple of weeks, so this is awesome. Keep it up. We're happy to answer those. So Cheryl, let's talk a little bit about what's coming up in 2022 as far as booking cruises. I know I've had a lot of inquiries of people looking ahead to secure their space. What about you?
Yes, I booked a Alaska cruise yesterday for sailing in June 2022. Yeah, with Royal Caribbean. They're quite excited with the with all these cruise options that are out there. And I know many people's plans had been disrupted for 2020 and also again in 2021. So there's so much pent up demand for vacation that cruises are already starting to sell out for 2022. Our cruise partners are making it easy for our customers to secure the space as well. And have you heard of the Air Canada Vacations Cruise Promise?
Absolutely. And we're just going to actually touch on that right now because it is a fantastic promotion that we've got going out with Air Canada right now, Air Canada Vacations. So right now, if you're to book one of the Air Canada Vacations cruise packages, you can book that cruise with a deposit of only $50 per person, which is absolutely unheard of. So fantastic deal right there. With their Vacations Cruise Promise that's going to give you flexible payment options. There's no deposit required for the flights. All flights are 100% refundable up to 24 hours before the departure. And they're also allowing up to one name change done up to 24 hours before that departure as well. So, you know, if your cruise partner can't travel and you've got another friend or family member that can slip into their place, that option is going to be there for you up until that 24-hour mark. They're also guaranteeing the lowest priced airfare. Big one here is the guaranteed return flights. So, you know, cruises in general run on time, but every once in a while, you know, they may be late getting into the port on your last day. And Air Canada is guaranteeing that if the cruise ship or the ship is late coming into port, they will guarantee you that return flight home on the next available, which is great. And another big feature too is they are including the first checked bag free for each passenger, which again is a great little bonus there.
Oh yeah, it's nice to include that. Nobody likes surprises along the way on the journey, and especially on checking in.
Surprise fees. So sick of those surprise fees.
Yes, yeah. So it's really nice. It's great to include that.
Absolutely.
So let's talk a little bit more about booking airfare with Air Canada Vacations, because they're making it so easy. So did you know that you can do the pre-registration for the airfare for sailings for 2022? Again, with that reduced deposit. It's great. So they're basically letting the clients secure their air rates before they become available in the system. So we can now offer these options and lock in the great pricing on their sailings 11 months out or earlier. And then when they do become available, then we can certainly book the required segments. So that's a really neat feature that they have that we, you know, clients can take advantage of. And so these pre-flights are available from our major gateways for Europe and the Caribbean cruises at this time. So that would include Montreal, Toronto, Calgary, Vancouver. So the air rates are based on these main gateways, but certainly if they need a connector flight, Air Canada Vacations is very unique in its product that they can add those in when they're available and confirm those with the pricing to add those on. And of course, the taxes are subject to change until you confirm the flight itinerary for it.
Oh, amazing. That's great.
Yeah,
because, you know, not all of our guests are in those 4 main hub areas as well. So, you know, it's Air Canada's network being so extensive is going to give you that smooth, hassle-free travel experience as well. So that's great that they can do that with those connector flights to get everybody to their cruise. That's awesome. So let's see here. Now, I think going forward, just because of what's going on in the world and the demand that's out there, I think, you know, we may see those rates being pushed a little bit higher. And, you know, especially since the demand will be there when that travel ban lifts and the vaccines get rolled out, I think it's a great time to utilize this promotion to maybe book in that space and book in those fantastic prices as well. So, you know, definitely use the promotion that we're talking about to your advantage.
yeah.
You know, it's a great option, that's for sure. Now, I think, Shannon, we might have a couple more questions coming in. How are we doing on that front?
We do. We have quite a few here, so we'll get started right away. The first one here, following the last questions, is which cruise line accommodates best for active seniors? Is that something, Cheryl, maybe you might be able to answer?
For active senior, well, most of the cruise lines cater to all ages, but I would recommend Celebrity Cruises. They have a lot of activities, and it tends to attract an older crowd generally. So I would definitely recommend Celebrity Cruises.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And Cheryl can certainly guide you through that if you want to contact her. Her email is hamilton@selloffvacations.com. She'd love to help you out to narrow that search. Yeah. The next question here, ladies, is what cruise line would you recommend for families? Denise, would you want to take that one?
For sure. Again, there's so many different options out there. From my own personal experience, Disney is top notch, but I know like Norwegian is fantastic as well. Celebrity again has some great options. So just depending on what you're looking for, but yeah, I would definitely recommend Disney.
Okay, awesome. And again, Denise can help you out with narrowing that search and finding what's best for you. Her email is ajax@selloffvacations.com, which will also be in this chat and at the end of the presentation for a screenshot. And continuing on here, ladies, the next question is, are the cruise lines offering flexible booking terms due to COVID? Cheryl, are you able to answer that question?
Yes, each product is offering different flexibility as far as flexibility with cancellations and making changes. They have non-refundable deposits, but they also have refundable deposits and making changes up to 24 hours prior to the sailing even. So they're trying to work, knowing with all these new restrictions and the unknown that could come across, they're working quite closely on and adding as much flexibility as they can to the cruise products.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good time to mention again the Air Canada Vacations Cruise Promise promo, as I think some of that has some flexibility in it as well. So
that's right.
The next question here is, someone asked actually, what cruise lines does Air Canada Vacations offer?
Yeah, I can take that one actually.
Okay,
they offer a huge variety actually. So they've got Royal Caribbean, NCL, Celebrity, Disney, Azamara, Uniworld, Silver Sea. You know, they've got a lot. There's a lot of options. So again, depending on what you're looking for, there is going to be a specific cruise line that's going to be perfect for you.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. Another question here that came through is from Sharon, actually. She asked, what is all included in the cruise price, typically? Cheryl?
Typically, what's included is, of course, your cruise and your cabin, the ports of call, your main dining buffet. The buffet, again, will have alterations depending on each ship and their protocols. So that's, and it would include transfers if you booked your airfare. And depending on the cruise line, there's different promotions. They've packaged a lot of wonderful things in. For instance, Norwegian Cruise Lines has 5-in-1 right now with a lot of their sailings for 2022. So they'll include the Wi-Fi, a beverage package, an excursion even, and the tips, the gratuities are included in some of them as well. So you can really package it all in and prepay for it, or it's going to be included. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, cruises are certainly very versatile and so many options, so many different ways to book them and, you know, piece together if you need what to fit your needs, for sure. So, and our agents are definitely cruise experts, so certainly reach out to them. And then the next question is a couple more here and then we'll get finished. But this kind of relates to that as well, but someone had said, I've heard there are some hidden fees when booking cruises. Is that true? Denise, do you want to take that one?
Sure. Yeah, no, definitely. There can be some additional fees that would be required to be paid. So those are things such as gratuities, any port excursions, beverage packages, that kind of thing. Now, again, as Cheryl mentioned, there are different promotions with the different cruise lines that may include some of these options for you. But we can certainly go over all of that when we're looking at your specific cruise to eliminate or make that as limited of a concern for you. Absolutely. But yeah, there's, I wouldn't say that they're necessarily hidden, but we definitely need to look at each option and see what's on offer.
Yeah. But when you give our agents a call, they certainly make you aware of all those hidden fees and such, so you're not kind of in the dark or anything. So the next question here, comment actually is, we were talking about the Air Canada Vacations Cruise Promise promo. Wendy actually said, how do you get more information on Air Canada promotions for cruises? She's not seeing it on our website.
Oh, she can certainly reach out to us and we can go into details on the Cruise Promise.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. I would encourage you to email Cheryl's email's there in the chat, hamilton@selloffvacations.com. She'd love to get you that information directly to you. On our website, we try to keep up with promos, but sometimes there's quite a few going on, so they might not be specifically on there. But keep yourself your eyes peeled to the website though, because it probably will be up there at some point. And the last question here I have, I believe, unless more come in here while we're chatting, is, are the big shows and entertainment included? Denise?
Again, this is a yes and no situation, so it will definitely depend on the cruise line that you're choosing. Again, going back to my experience with Disney, yes, all the shows were included, but I know with some of the other ones for the bigger Broadway style shows, you do need to register or purchase a ticket.
Right. And that could change, of course, with the new COVID protocols that we are not sure about yet. Exactly. Obviously, there'll be lower occupancies on the cruises themselves, you know, for the immediate future at least. And obviously, that would be the shows as well. So certainly something we're all going to learn about hopefully soon. But one other question did come in here while we were chatting, so we'll get to that as well. Does Norwegian Cruise Line still have the policy that you can get the deposit back before your final payment? Cheryl, do you have an answer for that question? Or Denise?
I think it depends on the type of package that you book with Norwegian Cruise Line. I think there's a few options there.
Yeah, I think some are more restrictive fares, so I think it would just depend, but that option should be still there for specific fares, so we can certainly help you out with that. Absolutely. If you're looking for a Norwegian Cruise Line, there definitely are still some options where you could cancel and get that deposit back. Yeah. And let's see, one more question just came in here literally. Just a comment about they actually can't wait to get back on a cruise. So
awesome.
Yeah, that's so nice to hear.
Yeah.
So we will end there with the questions, and ladies will continue on with the presentation there and finish up for this one. It's been great.
Well, thanks, Shannon. It was so many great questions, actually. Yeah. Wish we had time to answer more, but it's coming to an end to the presentation. So, but before we leave, we would like to share some of our top tips about cruising. So whether you've cruised before or you're going to be new to taking a cruise, we'd like to share a few tips. So for me, my tip would be to research your ports of call on the itinerary that you've booked. To not go in blind. So for example, if you've booked like a 2-hour snorkeling trip at one of your ports of call, you may be left with a lot of time and a lot of time wasted before going back to the ship. Or on the other side of that, you might be on a European cruise and it's a big port city, and you should really want to plan ahead, book that excursion so you don't waste any time and you maximize that port of call. So one of my colleagues, it's kind of funny, said, oh, you've really got to go to YouTube and see pier runners. So I still have to jump on there and have a giggle and see some of these pier runners going back to the ship. How about you, Denise?
For sure. Well, I think my top tip would be, you know, take advantage of all the activities and the offerings that are on board the ship that are included in your cruise fare. So just for example, on my Disney cruise, we learned about towel folding, how to draw Disney characters, because it was a Panama Canal cruise. There actually was a guest lecturer on board that did a 5 or 6 part series of the history of the Panama Canal, which was very, very interesting. There were ship tours and of course the amazing shows. So of course each ship and cruise line will be a little bit different in their offerings, but there's so much to do on board the ships. But of course, if you just want to sit back and relax, that's awesome as well. So
yeah, well, that's interesting about the towel folding. Can you still do that? I mean, you should have brought a towel and maybe you could have.
Well, maybe I did. I did see if I still had the skills, and can you see it?
Oh my gosh.
Fun.
That's so great. So are you still doing that at home then? For the kids?
No, that is the first time I've done it since the cruise, but you know, it's fun little skill to have for sure.
That's great.
Oh, too funny. Now, before we let you guys go, we do want to let you know about an exclusive group deal that we have from Air Canada Vacations. So we do have this amazing deal on the Royal Caribbean Grandeur of the Seas. This deal includes round-trip airfare with Air Canada to Barbados, transfers and taxes. In an inside cabin based on a double occupancy, you're looking at $13.52 per person. And that is departing, let me just double check here, February 13th, 2022. So right in the height of winter next year. That's crazy. That's an amazing price for
You get to
sure.
be on it for Valentine's Day.
Aw, Valentine's Day and Family Day, I think. So might
Oh, that's right.
you know, if you're a couple or you've got a family, head on that cruise for sure. Now, if you do want some more additional information about that cruise, definitely contact me at ajax@seloffvacations.com, and I'd be happy to go through the more details on that cruise promo with you. Now, we will be having some more great group cruise deals coming through shortly. I did hear a rumor that we may have something for Christmas sailings of 2022 as well. So, you know, if we can expect, you know, as great of a deal as we're seeing for February, that's going to be amazing too. So definitely stay tuned for that. And that brings us to the end of our presentation today, everybody. So I just wanted to thank you once again for joining us today. If you have any questions that were posted that weren't answered, Deborah and Shannon will be in our chat function to answer those questions. So definitely keep them coming in. You are, of course, more than welcome to contact our Sell Off Vacations offices today. Our phone lines are open until 9 p.m. Eastern tonight, and you can reach any of our agents at 1-877-735-5633, or you can contact either myself or Cheryl. Our contacts should be up on the screen now for you as well if you wanted to take a screenshot. Now we will be back next week with another presentation. We definitely encourage you to visit our website, seloffvacations.com, and sign up for our weekly newsletter. The newsletter will keep you up to date on all of our current promotions, and will also have the information on our upcoming presentations as well. So join us next week, Wednesday, February 24th, for our presentation on Costa Rica, which if you've never been or you've been before, you know it's going to be amazing. And we hope you will join us then, and have a great day. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.